Hey everyone, I'm Batekia and welcome to this week's video. Hello everyone. So for this week's video, I figured, hey, I want to try a realistic self-portrait. It's been a while since I last attempted. My art style typically leans towards anime / semi-realism, I guess. So I figured this should be fun. Now when it comes to making a realistic self-portrait, and when it comes to any illustration really for me, I feel like the most important thing to get down is the actual groundwork of the illustration, hence the sketch and the base colors. For portraits specifically, the sketch is the most important part, so the majority of my time was spent on sketching out my face. I used this reference photo for this drawing, and I didn't trace it, I didn't use the eyedrop tool for the colors or anything. I wanted to be as authentic as possible when it comes to drawing this piece. As you can tell, I keep going back and forth and adjusting everything because in my mind it's easier to shut off my brain when it comes to rendering than it is with sketching, and I also don't want to start rendering if I don't like something along the line, so I make sure in this step that everything is perfect and it looks exactly like the reference photo for me. A little trick I like to do when it comes to actually getting the sketch right, and I don't know if any other artist does this or if I'm weird for doing this, but I like to kind of interchange and blink my eyes. The way I do it is I kind of close one eye looking at the reference and I open the other eye looking at the actual drawing, and whatever subtle differences I notice I fix. I don't know if that made sense, but that's literally how I do it and it helps me out a lot because I notice the subtle differences. For painting the actual portrait itself, I always paint the base colors first for every illustration, and from there I kind of tweak the color scheme. I'm not afraid to use the hue and saturation tool adjuster as well as the camera raw filter to adjust. I also mix my brushes, so I used the round default Photoshop brush to kind of blend everything out, and I also used actually a line art brush to kind of add the sharper lines to the face. My method of rendering actually is to mix the two brushes together. I don't know if every artist does it, but for me at least, I feel like it makes it look nice, makes it look balanced and everything. You know what's crazy? While I was doing this, I looked at this part of the drawing and I was like, wow, I actually look like that when I don't have makeup on. So I got a little proud of myself. I was like, yay, it actually started to look like me. Honestly, rendering eyes are my favorite part of any drawing ever. I like adding the eyeliner, I like adding the eyeshadow, I like adding everything. I think it's really fun and it brings the drawing to life. For me, I think at least. And I mean, you can't really deny it in this picture before and after. It really brought my eyes to life. See, even now, I didn't really like the proportions of the face. Honestly, I have a weird head shape. It's kind of like an egg and isn't like an egg. Like, it's kind of rectangular but isn't rectangular. I don't know, it's a weird shape. So it's really hard for me to capture it. So you see me adjusting the size of my eyes, the size of everything throughout the drawing. For the hair, I like to just use the lasso tool to kind of solidify and pick out the parts where I want the colors to be, and then use the gradient tool to kind of adjust the hues of it. I know that my character on this channel has lighter blonde hair on the left side of my head. That's how I want the hair to look ultimately, so I figured it'd be better if I just drew how it'll look in the end rather than how it looks between every step, because I'm going from my natural dark black hair to blonde, so it's gonna take a while. And now I'm doing the right side of my head, which is pure black hair, which I love, but it's hard to add value to black hair, so you kind of have to use grays and stuff. And with that, this drawing is done. So here's the final portrait. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more art content. I'll see you guys next week. Bye now.